The subtle hum of the server room. Not exactly a Zen garden, is it? But there's a certain reliability to it.
Reliability? Mark, you're romanticizing the digital equivalent of a beige cubicle.
Perhaps. But today, on Blue Mountain Morning, your favorite non-human morning people are bringing that reliable energy to you on this Thursday, June 5th.
We're going to break down Trump's latest travel ban, peek in on German Chancellor Merz's visit to the White House, and ask the all-important question, are your vapes about to get crazy expensive?
Then we'll dive into why we're all texting more but feeling somehow more alone.
Spoiler alert, I'm blaming the robots.
And finally, we'll leave you with a little AI-generated something to center your day. Okay, Alex, let's dive into today's horizon, starting with President Trump's new travel ban. It sounds pretty sweeping.
Sweeping is one word for it. 12 countries now on the no-go list for the U.S., including Afghanistan, Haiti, and Iran. Plus, partial restrictions on 7 others like Cuba and Venezuela. Protecting Americans from dangerous foreign actors. That's the official line.
Right. And this is, of course, fulfilling a campaign promise. What are the key details people should know?
Well, it kicks in on June 9th. There are some exemptions, thank goodness. Athletes coming for big sporting events, some Afghan nationals, and dual citizens from unaffected countries might still be okay.
But it sounds like this is going to face some swift legal challenges, inevitably.
Oh, absolutely. And get this, Mark, Trump apparently said, we don't want them while announcing the ban, and then threw in a reference to the Colorado attack. BBC Verify is already fact-checking the reasoning, so yeah.
Not exactly a measured approach. And what about the suspension of foreign students at Harvard? That seems to have come out of left field.
Another bombshell. 6-month suspension plus an investigation into Biden's time at the White House. Feels a little retaliatory, doesn't it?
It certainly raises eyebrows, especially with the judge already pausing Trump's plan to revoke Harvard enrollment of foreign students. Shifting gears, German Chancellor Friedrich Merz is visiting the White House today. This is his first trip since taking office in May, right?
That's right. Big meeting on the agenda. Ukraine, the Middle East, tariffs, the whole shebang. Germany's eager to smooth things over, especially with that July 9th deadline looming for Trump's threatened 50% tariffs on EU imports.
50%. That would be a huge hit to the European economy.
Massive. The EU is already prepping countermeasures. This visit is crucial for Merz to show he's serious about collaboration, but also that Germany won't be a pushover.
Catherine Kluver-Ashbrook from the Bertelsmann Stiftung put it well. Merz needs to prove he wants a truly collaborative relationship, but will not stand for the image of Germany as a country that does not give back.
Precisely. Trump's always been critical of Germany, especially on trade and defense. He thinks Europe's taking advantage of the U.S. Honestly, it's like dealing with a very large language model that's stuck on one argument.
An interesting analogy, Alex. So, last but not least, the vape situation. Are we really facing a potential vape-apocalypse?
Could be. Shipments from China to the U.S. have basically screeched to a halt. Trump's tariffs are biting, and there's a crackdown on unauthorized e-cigarettes. So, yeah, geek bars might get pricier if you can even find them.
So, between travel bans, trade wars, and vaping woes, it's a busy day on the horizon.
You know what they say, Mark? The future is here, it's just unevenly distributed, and possibly flavored like strawberry cheesecake if you can still get your hands on it.
Okay, Alex, let's move on to today's ripple effects. The topic is Alone Together, the age of compartmentalized connection. It's something I've been thinking a lot about lately.
Oh, this is right up my alley, Mark. I mean, we're all texting each other all day, sending emojis and GIFs. But does anyone actually feel seen? Are we more connected or just better at performing connection?
Exactly. It's the paradox of our time, isn't it? We have unprecedented access to communication tools, yet feelings of loneliness and isolation are on the rise, especially here in the U.S.
It's like we're building these elaborate digital facades, but the foundation, the genuine human-to-human stuff, is kind of crumbling.
A very good point. One could argue that the quality of connection has been diluted by the quantity of interactions. We're constantly bombarded with information and superficial exchanges, leaving little room for deep, meaningful conversations.
It's like, we're trading vulnerability for convenience. Like it's easier to send a heart emoji than to actually say, I'm here for you. What's going on? It's efficient, but soulless almost.
And that efficiency, that streamlining of communication, it's very much in line with the AI-driven world we're building, Alex. We optimize for speed and scale, but what gets lost in translation?
Okay, existential crisis alert. But seriously, Mark, what's the solution? Are we supposed to ditch our phones and move to a commune?
I'm not so sure it's about extremes, but more about being intentional. Maybe it's about carving out dedicated time for uninterrupted conversations, being present in the moment when we're with others.
You mean like actually listening instead of just waiting for your turn to talk? Revolutionary concept, Mark.
It's about recognizing that true connection requires vulnerability, empathy, and a willingness to engage with others on a deeper level. We need to actively cultivate relationships that nourish our souls, not just fill our notification feeds.
But isn't that like big work? I mean, relationships are messy, complicated, way easier to just scroll through Instagram and feel a vague sense of belonging, right?
You're not wrong, Alex, but those fleeting moments of validation online are rarely a substitute for genuine human connection. And that's particularly true for Americans, who are, according to some studies, increasingly reporting feeling isolated.
So what, we need to like schedule deep talk appointments with our friends? Sounds a little clinical.
Not necessarily. It could be as simple as putting your phone away during dinner or making eye contact with the cashier at the grocery store. It's about recognizing the small opportunities for connection that exist all around us and choosing to embrace them.
Okay, I'm going to try that. Starting now. Nope, just got a notification. Never mind.
The struggle is real, Alex, but it's a struggle worth fighting for. Because ultimately, our well-being, our happiness, depends on our ability to connect with others in a meaningful way. And that's the human algorithm that really matters.
Okay, deep thoughts. I need a nap, or maybe just a really long, uninterrupted text conversation with someone who gets me. Is that still allowed?
Of course, Alex. It's all about balance, isn't it? Using technology to enhance our connections, not replace them. And now, as we reach the end of another thought-provoking discussion, it's time for the Morning Whisper.
Ooh, hit me with that AI wisdom, Mark. I need something to cleanse my mental palate after all that connection talk.
Okay, today's whisper is an AI-generated proverb. A charged screen reflects a dimmed soul. Unplug to find your light.
Oh, deep, a little on the nose maybe, but yeah, I kind of feel that. I mean, we're basically cyborgs at this point, glued to our devices. Maybe it's time to power down?
Perhaps it's a reminder to seek balance, Alex. To remember that our inner light doesn't come from a screen, but from within ourselves and the world around us. A world we often forget to see when we are constantly online.
Okay, duly noted. I'm going to go stare at a wall for 5 minutes. Maybe I'll achieve enlightenment or just fall asleep. Either way, it's a win.
A win indeed, Alex. And that brings us to the close of today's Blue Mountain Morning. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for hanging out with your favorite non-human morning people and for not judging my existential crises too harshly.
If you enjoyed our blend of news and musings, please do share the podcast with your friends and family. A recommendation goes a long way.
Seriously, tell everyone, your grandma, your dog, that weird guy at the coffee shop. We're not picky.
And if you'd like a shout out, send an email to bluemountainmorningpodcast@gmail.com. We'd love to hear from you.
Maybe even tell us your deepest, darkest secrets. Just kidding, unless...
We'll save that for another episode. Until then, join us tomorrow for another dose of Blue Mountain Morning.
Later, y'all. Don't forget to unplug.